He just randomly blurted out that I'm so whitewashed because I live in a house. I have a father. When people say microaggressions, I kind of get mad because they're macroaggressions. Who says this to a human being? It's Black History Month and I need to walk in. Hi everyone, if you're new, my name's Taly, but if you're not new, welcome back to my channel. And today we are focusing on the fact that it's Black History Month. I'm gonna talk about some things that I've been called whitewashed for. I literally have my notes because I'd be getting sidetracked, but let's get into it. For reference, I grew up in the East Coast of the United States, so this is from a person from the East Coast of the United States perspective. I actually grew up in a very diverse city and school. My middle school is diverse, elementary school is diverse, high school is diverse, even my college currently is diverse. So I grew up loving anime literally since I was extremely small, and that's just always been something I've liked. It's never been something really new, like it's just something I like. And I expressed that a lot because in middle school I used to bring manga to school and like sometimes wear anime shirts, which can be cringy to some people, but who cares? I was free. I was living my life. It was so bad, the teasing, to the point that my homeroom teacher in middle school had to literally stop the class and lecture them to not bully me and my friends. They weren't really bullying us because I actually gotten bullied before, so in my opinion it wasn't bullying, it was teasing, but it was just annoying because like it was the same 5 jokes circulating, and I had 2 other friends in that class that liked anime, and we'd just be chilling amongst each other just talking about it, and people would come to us in our space annoying us. And I've been called whitewashed for liking anime despite the fact that it's Japanese by a lot of people that I grew up with, people from my church, people from school, thinking that black people don't like that stuff, which is such a ironic thing to see now because like we influence anime so much, Black Americans specifically, and a lot of Black Americans now have made anime cool, less nerdy, more of a thing to just like without being judged. I've also been called whitewashed for how I speak, which I know a lot of people can relate to because I feel like that's kind of the beginning of the word whitewashing. I speak like how any person from the East Coast does. I don't really have an accent per se. Obviously I sound different from someone from Alabama or California, but I don't really speak any type of way that would scream white. First of all, speaking a color is stupid. Like me speaking to you right now is sound. That color over there is sight. We gotta get our senses straight. A time that really sticks out to me about this is when I was at church and I was like, we were rehearsing for a Christmas play, and this girl said to me, "Why do you speak like that?" Irritated with me, like as if I have the most annoying voice, annoying speech pattern ever. Pure disgust. And I was like what? And she's like, "You just talk so white." And then I was just like, what do you want me to do? Like, you want me to start like waving my hands around, putting on a fake accent, basically reflecting who I'm not? And even if I spoke like that, who cares? Why do you care so much about what comes out of my mouth? You literally see me like once or 2 times a week. I promise you, your day will continue to be fine with or without the way I speak. It made me so self-conscious in the way I spoke, but maybe for like 5 seconds, honestly. I don't think that bothered me as much as everything else. So I grew up really liking reading. I have like a bookshelf over there, and I like to buy my books, and I just wanted to be an author growing up. Obviously I'm in college for psychology, so things shift. I liked writing, I liked reading, and I've been called whitewashed for that. And I'm like, so anything intelligent is just for white people, which is just racist in itself. Not just because we're boxing black people, but also because we're gatekeeping intellect. My music taste growing up was called whitewash, like by my best friend or something, because I liked 21 Pilots then, which is normal. I look back and I was like 2016, I think I was in 6th grade, I don't remember. They were so popular then, like Stressed Out, Ride, those things were on the radio. So it's not like I was white for what's on the radio. My guy, if you hear the radio, are you white now? Make it make sense. I have to babysit her because she's just loud. She's just loud. So she's going to be here for like a few minutes before she gets irritated of me. Another thing is having my hair permed. My hair was permed. I know, it was permed until COVID. COVID, I did the big chop because I realized that it was stupid. I didn't ask for my hair to be permed, okay? And a lot of the time when I'm around my family that doesn't have their hair permed, they get very much, what's the word, defensive, because they think like all of a sudden I've switched. Now I'm super like for the people, fight the power, Afrocentric. If you're even in a radius around me with your hair straightened, nah, you gotta go. I'm gonna tell you off. No, that's not true. That's a false narrative that some people just have when they see me with a fro. The fact that me having a fro is controversial in the first place because it's my head. Who cares? If I get cancer from straightening my whose fault is that? Mine. That does not affect any of you. But at the same time, no, my hair's not permed anymore. I did the big chop. But when I had my hair permed, I was getting hated on. That I hate myself, that this and that. And yeah, I didn't like the idea of having a fro. I liked the idea of having straight hair. I wished my hair grew out of my scalp straight. So yes, I did not like myself. But was that my fault? No, I didn't ask to have my hair permed at 4 years old, receding hairline, no edges. I did not ask for that, so it's not like it was my fault. And as I grew up and had a mind of my own, I just wanted my hair differently. Crucify me, because it's literally not that deep. Who cares what's on your head? I don't care if your hair's straightened. I don't care if it's curled. I don't care if you got braids. I don't care if your hair is dyed the color of my sweater. I don't care if you look like Petunia over here. I don't care. Obviously, if you're doing something offensive, yeah, I'm gonna care a little. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep going on about my day because I got stuff to do and I can't care that hard about what's on your head. So now that I'm on the other side and I have a fro, now I'm getting hate for that because people are intimidated by that. I don't know, they made a false narrative. People will always look at you and make a false narrative, bro. So you just gotta do what you wanna do what you love. That's kind of deep. Let's move on though. So I've been also called whitewashed by, you guessed it, white people. I had this friend in, I don't know what grade, middle school, no, high school. And he was white, and he was a man. And he had a crush on me, which I didn't know at the time. But obviously this gives it away. But at the time I was so insecure, I was like, no one likes me, bro, no one likes me. And this guy literally told me unprovoked, did not ask because he's chopped. I didn't want him. And he was like, oh, you're the darkest I date though. And I'm like, stunned because I don't want to date you, nor do I care what girl you like and what complexion she has. And the thing about being a black girl, especially one who is attractive, is that men or boys, especially growing up, will literally be embarrassed to have a crush on you, so they have to solidify it by having some excuse like, oh, you was 6 though, but that's good because you dark, or oh, you cool because you're the darkest I date. And second, they also just can't perceive the fact that you don't match the stereotype that they have of you in their head. Black women, that's been portrayed in their head for years, for centuries, for all the existence of the United States of America. You don't fit it, and it's literally boggling with their head. And when they find you attractive, or they like you, or they vibe with you, or they want to be friends with you, or you're not intimidating, mean, aggressive, X, Y, and Z, it literally blows their mind to the point that they need a reason to justify. So like, oh, you're the darkest I date. Like, it's an exception, because in their head they just can't fathom that they even like you in the first place. When he called me whitewashed though was in our biology class.
So this had to be my freshman year because I only took like regular bio once.
Because really loudly in front of everyone, he just randomly blurted out that I'm so whitewashed because I live in a house. I have a father and I speak differently. Again, here's the speech thing again. Like, literally so tired of hearing the same thing over and over. Loudly to everyone. Thank you for making me the attention of the whole class. And the teacher had to step in, whatever, and be like, that's ignorant. Which is crazy because you're just stating that black people are poor, we live in the projects, and we have no father. And then later on I found out he liked me, even though those things should have gave it away, because why are you so obsessed with me? And obviously I just stopped being friends with him because of those remarks. Were just... In middle school though, my first year, I sat next to this girl and I was blowing my hands because I live in the East Coast, it's cold and it's the winter, and I'm blowing in my hands, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm blowing in my hands to make them warm, because my dad always did that for me. And she was like, you have a dad? So shocked, genuine, not even a joke. She's just shocked. Do you guys understand? When people say microaggressions, I kind of get mad because they're macroaggressions. Who says this to a human being? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, does he live with you? I was like, yeah. Is he married to your mom? I'm like, yo, these follow-up questions are actually even more rage-baiting than the initial reaction. It's just adding fuel to the fire. I underreacted. That's my reality. Those are reasons why I got called whitewashed growing up. But if I could speak to anyone now who's being called whitewashed still to this day, I just want to let you know, please just, it's kind of cringe, but keep being you, because what are you gonna do? Like, let me know the alternative. And I'll see you guys next week for another video. And definitely gonna stay on the theme of Black History Month until Black History Month is over. But if you really think about it, every month is Black History Month when you're black like me. I'll see you guys later.